Hello folks, Sam Owens here, and I'm going to do a demonstration of sharpening the reel blades. There's 5 of them, and there's a kit that you need from Scott. This is a Scott Classic 20-inch mower, push mower, and I got such a huge success with viewers watching my video on how to adjust the blade so that it cuts properly using these adjusting screws on both sides. There's a cutting bar, and I showed and demonstrated how to adjust those so that you get the best cutting action. And we used slips of paper all the way down, and when it cut that paper just perfectly all the way across the cutting surface, we knew our blade was adjusted properly. Well, I thought I should probably demonstrate the other maintenance that you should do on the mower periodically. Now, this is something that's not going to be needed for a long time. You can kind of, if your mower is cutting good with the proper blade adjustment to the cutting bar, then chances are you don't need to do this. But if you've had your mower for a while, or you just want to, sharpen it up good and get the maximum out of it, then I'm going to show you how to do it. First, this is a kit that I just purchased on Amazon, and it's a blade sharpening kit, and they're featuring the Scott mower and any other mowers, reel type mowers, manual push mowers. And the big thing in here is that sharpening a blade requires a compound that's very abrasive. This is what it looks like, and you need this compound to smear paint on all of the blade surfaces. And then we take the wheel off, and I'll show you, they even give you a crank here, which once you take the wheel off and have it off the ground, you can take this and spin, well actually you're going to spin it counterclockwise. This is the normal cutting position for the lawnmower. You're going to push it that way, and the blades are going to spin clockwise. Our sharpening method is going to go counterclockwise. Just want to orientate you as to what you're going to do. Now, first thing I'm going to do is check that my blade is in contact with the cutting bar all the way across to see how well the blade is adjusted. And to do that, I'm going to put it in this position. Now, this is going to flip over when I go over it like this, and then I'm going to put it down like that. And you could do it on the ground this way, but it's still in the same position and everything. Now, what I'm going to do is put this right over here, and all I have to do is turn these wheels, and by putting this perpendicular, that's like grass right there, and a quick cut, and it did it. Good, did it? Perfect. Keep your fingers out of there now. Cuts good. Perfect. Now it's starting to act a little funny over here on this corner, so now I'm going to do it again. And see, it's not cutting, it's just bending over. So this part of the blade is not coming into contact with the cutting bar. So now I have to adjust this cutting bar up on this side just a little bit. That's what those screws do, is they tilt this bar, and you can tilt either side to get it to where it cuts all the way across. This side is okay, so I just have to adjust these screws over here. Now, to get to the screws, they're up underneath here, and I can, I'd have to turn it over. I need to move the cutting bar up just ever so slightly, up this way. So in order to do that, I have to loosen this one just a little bit and then crank down on this one. This is actually what pivots. It pivots on this bolt right here and will pivot up. So let me just do that. This is a trial and error method, and that's the only way you can do it. Is I'm just going to loosen a little bit, just there, and then I'm going to tighten down the same amount. There. All right. Believe me, small adjustments will make the best results. Okay, right off, I'm going to try this right now and see how it works. So, let's try it over here. Yeah, boy, I feel the resistance. Perfect. Cuts beautiful. Now let's check over here. Oh yeah. And in the center. And I feel the resistance now. So this side was off just a little bit. Did you notice how I loosened a little bit and tightened? You got to have them both tight. So that's important. Here are the instructions. I didn't show you, which were in the bottom of the box. And what they tell you to do is, with the lawnmower in the normal mowing position, push down on the handle until the grip section rests on the ground, which is basically what I've got, but I've flipped it over. You wouldn't normally have to flip it over like this, but this is for demonstrations on a work table, so that's the way I did it. This will bring the wheels off the ground, and that's what you need to do, is these drive wheels need to be off the ground, and we need to take this cover off, and we'll go from there. Let's see, and right here they're showing we have to take the wheel off, and there's the second part of it. So let me just put this right here, and I did slip some cardboard under there so I don't make a mess. Now there's two little clips here that you can stick a screwdriver in and kind of, but I found on the other is you don't want to go way down in there. You want to just remove this little clip right here, like that. See, if you go down, you're just pushing against this metal, or this ring there. It's a small cover that just covers that. And you don't have to take the bolt off. What you got to do is stick your screwdriver in, and now this is going to snap out, so you want to put your fingers on it. And then there's two of them, because you don't want it flipping out in the yard and losing it. So hold on to this. Put it somewhere you're not going to lose it. I'm going to put mine right in the center there. And now you should be able to just move this off. And just for your information, this is the drive wheel, and there is the special little drive gear that only catches in one direction, and it'll freewheel in the opposite direction. So you remove that as part of the instruction, and you see that's the secret as to how this pawl will only grab in one direction. And right there is the pawl, and you don't want it to slide out. So what you might do is just kind of move this to where it's crossways, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to use this tool. This is the tool that's going to allow you to spin it counterclockwise. The cutting direction is clockwise, like that, and counterclockwise would be this direction. So you're going to go like that. And what you do is you line up the pawl there. That's why it's got to be in the center. You don't want it falling out. And then you see this is kind of a special shape to grab that pawl, like right there. And then you can just kind of, and that's the sharpening action once I get the coating on there. So that's all there is to it. And it does tell you in here to apply your compound on each of the 5 blades. So we're going to do that now. apply it from over here. Okay, I'm going to start and just, you're not in a hurry when you do this, and dress it down nice because you get this stuff on there and you don't have to get it down on the blade. It's got to be on the cutting surface. And then you'd go over here and get this one. And make sure you, as you go around, you get them all on there. We're going to wash this off. Okay? And you'll get the hang of it. It's not really hard. And it's smearing it on the cutting bar, so it'll get it too. All right, now I'm ready to do the turning. You do this for about 5 minutes, and I can just go around. Oh, it's getting looser and looser, so it's probably wearing down. Let me check the blade and I'll come back to you. Okay, here's one I just cleaned off and it looks pretty good. This is the cutting edge right here. And I'll move it around and you can see. If I'm going to do another cut and see if it cuts good, and then we'll see if we need to adjust it. We'll go over here. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Actually, that is perfect all the way. Yep. So it's still cutting good, and I do not need to make any adjustment. Now, what you could do is clean up this while you have it off, and you could do the other side, and whoop, that little, once he falls out, then you've got to put him in correct. Okay, this is normal. So the sharp edge goes over to the right, and I have it backwards, and this is the way you turn it around to reverse it. So I need to take that out, and if you did get it wrong, you just flip it around. See? In other words, you want the sharp edge going to the right, like that. Okay, so look at that carefully when you take it apart so that you make sure you don't have to take it apart again to make sure the wheels are both going correctly. Now, what you could do is, if you really wanted to do it right, and I'm not going to do it right now because I'm doing a video, but you could put some grease in there, wheel packing grease, some of this heavy grease, and you just kind of put it around there in that area, and on the shaft would be good. And there. Perfect. Yep, see? It's going to turn. It should go to the right, and then to the left, it should freewheel. There. Okay, that's right. Put a little grease in here and everything, and I think I will just a little bit. Actually, all I got to do is put a little on here, and it'll work its way around. Okay? All you need is a little bit. And there. Pop this on, and again, you could put some on that. I would say do it up good. You could clean this all up once you have it apart and do the other side, and this will really work good. Just that little bit is going to be enough to do the job. And you do that until, there we go, perfect. And then you put the little C-ring on right here. And what you do is push this all the way in, and then putting it there. And if you have a pair of pliers, you can squeeze it. Let me go get a pair of pliers. Adjustable. Now I'm going to try and just snap that. There. There we go. And this is the cutting direction. And both of them are doing it. So I've got everything correct. And it freewheels backwards, so I got it back together correctly. Put this back on. And now it's just a matter of going over there. There, it should snap in. Taking it out and cleaning it up. So let me do that. Okay, folks, I'm ready to clean it up. There's still a lot of this honing compound on there, and it's very abrasive, and so we want to get it off now. And I'm going to use the pressure of the hose and see if I can knock it off real good. Okay. Get it off, and you could go back and wipe the blades down. I think my mower is going to perform really well and last a long time, so I advise you to try it and see. It's kind of fun.